morning. It's definitely autumn. I apologise for being out of breath, but I'm already a couple of miles into this one and I've already come up 2,000 feet. As you can see, I've got my head torch on because I got over here about 25 past 5 and it was still pitch black, so the dark mornings is definitely coming in. It's Crossfell, big out and back, just over 11.5 mile, all trails route as usual. First I'm on Britain's highest paved road, up the Great Dun Fell, which is also known as the golf ball, which is just beyond this hill here. Then I'll drop down into what's called the Col, and then back up to Little Dun Fell. Those two about 2,700 feet before heading to the main mountain on this route, Crossfell, which is just under 3,000 feet. So it's she's a big bitch. I'd hoped I could have climbed this last year. The lads came over and did it sometime last year or the year before, but I think I had COVID. I woke up and I was ill, and I would have been a danger to myself and the other lads, to be honest. If I tried to climb Crossfell when you can't breathe properly, it's not going to end well. So I'll power on a bit more. Hopefully the sun will come up nice, because forecast is rain, but I should be up and down before that hits. I didn't want to get caught out up here, like, as I'll explain later. It's an awful place. This is very unforgiving in bad conditions, but the visibility's forecast to be very good, so that's why I've come up and attempted it. So I will pick up a bit further up. We're coming to the top of the road now. That's Great Dun Fell. The radar system that looks like the golf ball. You've probably seen it on the way over to the lakes when you go on the 66. We're going to come off this road when we get to the top of there, and like I say, we'll be on the highest road point in England, and then we'll join the Pennine Way and we'll get off into the more rough terrain. I can't get over that. That's absolutely class. I love it. As you've probably gathered, 90% of my videos I'll do a circular route. I just think it's better for filming. I know on out and back you get like a different perspective going downwards. That's why I'm trying not to film behind us, because I'll try and get that footage on the way back. But with this one, I didn't really have a choice other than to do the out and back. There's multiple routes up the Crossfell, but just none of them was suiting us. The most popular one's probably from Garrigill, but that's 15 mile to circular past Greg's Hut, things like that, and it's the one I always wanted to do. But 15 mile up here where I haven't been before by myself was just a bit much for us, and I was out of my comfort zone. I looked at a 7.5 mile circular from Kirkland, which took us straight to Crossfell, but I would have missed Great Dun Fell and Little Dun Fell, and to be honest, this is probably the only time I'm ever going to climb this, so it's the only chance I would have to tag them, so that was out the question. And then the other ones kind of varied between like 18 to 30 mile, and it was just too long to be doing by myself. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't feeling this one this morning. I slept terrible last night. Feel like I've had no sleep at all. Friday night I made a bit of a pig of myself with the beer, so I was rough, and I lay in bed all day yesterday, and I'd slept quite late, so it balls me sleep up. And to be honest, there was 2 or 3 times on the way over here I nearly stopped the car and turned it round because I'm struggling. But when you get a cloud inversion like that, you know, that's once a year or two. People wait years and years to see one of them, and it's not the most dramatic cloud inversion, but to me that's a bucket list. I'm nearing the summit of Great Dunfell now. I'm Christ, the size of that beetle. I'm about 2,600 feet up, so we're nearly there, just around the corner really. The wind's starting to pick up. Once I get past Great Dunfell, I'll drop down into the col. The wind will be quite blustery, and I'm hoping you get to hear what they call the helm wind, which is it's unique to the Pennines, and it's just basically a shrieking high-pitched wind noise. It's crazy. I heard it on Knockfell, and it's quite terrifying, to be honest. Now we get off the road back onto the Pennine Way. This is going to blow my mind over the top of this bit here. That's our route there. I think that's Crossfell. It might be beyond that actually, but I've read that it's very important not to underestimate the distance between Great Dunfell and Crossfell itself. I think that might be Little Dunfell. Crossfell's beyond that. We've still got about 7.7 mile left on the route. As I said earlier, something this distance by myself is a little bit out of my comfort zone. Last time I attempted something similar distance to this by myself was when I did Knockfell, which was about 2.5 years ago, and it was when I'd first started walking, and I was very lucky to get off that. Basically me and Jordan decided we were going to start walking. It was her idea, and we came over to Cow Green Reservoir to do the Geo Trail, which is recommended by a work colleague of mine and good friend, Tall Paul. And then once I got over there and I saw the Pennine landscape, I was like, I can climb these. It's not just boring walking around like streams and stuff. You can actually climb proper mountains. So I headed out and did a bit of research, not very much, and I decided to climb Knockfell, which is a big dangerous mountain. So I turned up at Dufton to do a 10 mile out and back in mountain warehouse gear. There's no wrong with mountain warehouse gear, but in bad conditions it's not the most reliable kit. So off I went up Knockfell, unfit as hell, when I still smoked, no GPS, no map, just my phone and an all trails route. Thankfully the signal for the map didn't budge all day. It was alright. If I'd lost signal, the conditions were horrendous. I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. It was raining, freezing, the wind was braying against us, and I would have got lost, and I would have been in a situation. And by the time Jordan realised there was something wrong, that I hadn't turned back up at home, I could have been wandering them moors for hours, and I could have froze to death basically. So I like to think I know what I'm doing a bit more now, but as I'll explain later, even the best of us can get caught out over the Pennines. It has happened and it will happen again, unfortunately, but I'll point that incident out on the way back down. That's two. Little Dunfell, Crossfell there in the distance. The next one's Crossfell. I can see the path in front of us, following the cairns up to the summit there. Brilliant little summit shelter on there. I might sit and have a bit of a pie. I didn't know, it's a bit early. Like I said on the Colbury Gutter video, I was over that way, you can't see it because of the inversion. Outside the Lake District, this is the highest mountain in England. Bad conditions. This is the swamp bog. Well, it's been chucking it down all week. Also holds on to snow quite late into the year. There's still snow on it sometimes in April. just come over us. I'm done, man. It's got to be we're not sleeping well last night. It's, I feel grim. I'm nearly there. I think what I'll do is tag the summit, turn around and get straight back down as quick as I can, because I'm shattered. This has been grim. I haven't felt as bad as this climbing since I did Scarfell Pike, when I had a few too many rums the night before. I'm nowhere near that level, like. I'm just tired. I'm just really tired and beat. So I'll get up, tag the summit, get back down, because I've got to kind of drive home. Summit! One thing I've noticed up here, and I've never had to do this before, is really rushing me water. Not because of the hot weather out, it's freezing. It's the wind taking all the moisture out of your mouth, and I've got a good way back. So I'm having really much on doing with water, like. Ordnance Survey Tree Point, Crossfell. It looks like we've got a bit of a weather feed coming in here. I want to get off this as quickly as possible. Like, I don't want to be caught out in bad weather up here. This is just so much shelter. Look round here, and then we'll get off. Looking nice back this way, like. But that's just hell. I'm not going to even have a break because I feel like shit, and I need to get down off this. I'm rushing to get down. I'm making mistakes going off the path. I've tried to keep ahead of the weather, but it looks like I'm going to get caught out here. Climbing fuel. Climbing fuel. What? That's going to be Cow Green Reservoir back over that way. I am not going to lie, that Dixon Steak Pie kicked me right up the height, because I was flagging there. I must just be lack of sleep. I need to address this drinking situation, man, on climbing weekends. You can't be getting me arrested coming and climbing 3,000 footers in that, man. You know what I mean? That one we just did there, it's just under 3,000 feet. It's not the height that bothered us, it's the distance of it. I mean, I've climbed 3 out of the 4 Lake District 3000ers. None of them's easy, but elevation doesn't really bother us. It's just the sheer distance. When you haven't had much sleep, 0 shit sleep, I would say. It's just, that's been a good idea to go over and try it. But that steak pie's done the trick. That should get us back down. Because I thought I was in a bit of a situation there. I thought I was going to get away. Can I hear the helm wind? I don't know how well the camera will pick up. So just hear the street. I've got to get past this section again. I'm going to do this last little look back there. Great Dunfell, and that should be the last up on the route. After that we'll be back on the road. All downhill for about 3 miles. Should bomb down that, should fly down it. I never noticed that. Looks like a new golf ball. Back on the road. So we've done canny bit ascent over 11.5 miles by the time I get down, so aye, tough route. So that there's Knockfell. Well, I was telling you I had a bit of a situation when I was a beginner. There's actually a crashed plane on there, an RAF one from the 1950s. Came and hit the top in bad weather. I had a look for it, but I couldn't find it. The DR went up. Yeah, I can see it. I couldn't see it in front of my face. But this feeling a bit woozy when I was on the Crossfell summit. I forgot to tell you this interesting fact. It's interesting to me about Crossfell. So apparently, back in the olden times, it was called the Fiends Fell because they said it was haunted by evil spirits. And some type of archbishop came and blessed it. So I think that's where the name Crossfell came, either because it was full of cross angry spirits, Crossfell, or because some bodges come and blessed it. Cross, you know, which I thought was interesting. You make good progress descending this very quick. It's just starting to rain now. I've managed to keep ahead of it for 90% of the walk. I've got a couple of mile left now. I'm not bothered with belts down. Neither's he. Hardy animals these. So overall it's been a decent day weather-wise. I mean, I thought I was going to get caught out when I got on the summit there, but just bits of drizzle and wind, so it was alright. Right, as I'm nearing the end of the walk now, I've got about 20 minutes left, I think. Thank God. I just want to give you a bit of a warning of how dangerous this place can be in the winter and bad weather. So on New Year's Eve 2023, a guy travelled up from London, fell runner, and he planned a huge route doing Crossfell, Great Dunfell, Knockfell, Dufton Pike, all them massive route. Anyway, the weather suddenly deteriorated. Long story short, he was found dead the next day on Dufton Pike. He died of hypothermia. This is a mega experienced bloke, endurance runner, great orienteering skills, proper hardy athlete. His body was found just on that there the next day by the police helicopter. So his wife had reported him missing when he had turned back up home. But by the time the mountain rescue got up to Crossfell, it was dark, and basically they were looking in the wrong place. He wasn't on Crossfell. He was found on Dufton Pike. So just be aware, man. Don't attempt stuff like this if you're not feeling comfortable and you haven't got a good level of fitness. I've probably took a bit of a risk doing this today by myself with not much sleep, and I was shattered. I thought I was going to get hour up there. I was knackered. But if a guy like this fell runner can get caught out and die up here, like anybody can. But overall, it's been a good route, and I'm glad that I've done it, because I've put it off for years, for a good 2 years. So I'm glad that I've finally done it. But it was now special. It was just a walk. I mean, most of it, 6 miles of it's just this frigging road, you know. But I'm glad I've done it, and it's ticked off finally. But I didn't think I'll do it again. But we'll head down here. We should be at the car. What have I got left? Just over a mile. So, just to let you know, I've parked just on the side of the road, up from the village of Knock. Everything's called Knock over here. Just literally on the side of the road, and I've not seen a single person all day. Literally not a single person all day. So it's proper remote. But I think we're getting canny bit footage for just having a bit of an out and back, you know. So I will get down to the car now, and I'm looking forward to getting back home after this one. This has been hard. It's been hard for us. I would imagine the route from Kirkland, the circular, will just take you up this here, round onto Crossfell, which, I mean, it looks absolutely class route. I'm not sure what that is. That can't be Greg's hut, that, can it? It might be. I'm not going out and have a look at it though. No way, if that's what it is. But the Kirkland one looks a good route. But you would have to do it out and back to tag them. And there's a canny distance between Crossfell and Little Dunfell and Great Dunfell. So by the time you went out and tagged them and then got back on your circular route, you'd probably be looking about 15 mile, man, you know. It's crazy distances. The car should be just over this bank here now. That looks towards the lakes. So I'm going to wrap this video up now. Too big to be doing by yourself, too long. I mean, to be totally honest, I've smashed that time wise. Let's have a look. Let's see how long it's took us. I've got about 15 minutes left on it, and it's took us, where's it at, man? Oh yeah, I've did it in probably about 3 hours 45 minutes by the time I get back to the car. That's impressive for that much elevation and that distance, but once I got up the top of there, I just wanted to be off. I didn't feel very well, I was shattered, and I just wanted to be off. Normally I would have sat and had 20 minutes having something to eat and having a look at the views and that, but I just didn't feel good, man. I was just so fatigued. So it was literally an up and down. I think I did the Knockfell one in about similar time. I was straight up and down, but that's when I was unfit as shit, and I literally ran off the top of that. I ran down that. But it's like I say, it's been a one off the bucket list. But I probably won't do anything this big again, not out and back. Maybe I'll do a circular, but not out and back. And if I don't sleep again the night before, I'm gonna call it off, because I know my limitations, and I was right at my limit there, exhausted, and there's no shame in calling things off, because they'll always be here. But if you get into a situation up there, I mean, you know, like the story I've just told you about this fell runner, this place will kill you stone dead, man. It's just not worth it. So you have to use your head a little bit. But I've enjoyed it, I suppose. It hasn't been out special. The cloud inversion was brilliant, and this approach back to the car is absolutely stunning views. But I'll feel this one tomorrow. I'm going to go home, and I'm probably just going to have a lie down, and hopefully Jordan will look after us, because I'm shattered. But I'll see what happens to the next one. I'm not doing out next week. I'm having a weekend off, totally off. If I've done anything, it will be local, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to have a weekend rest, because working all week and then coming out and climbing shit like this, you know, it's not easy. Yeah, ponies. Some lovely little ponies here. So I will leave it at that. Oh, look at that, man. Hey. Lovely them. Right, I'll get back to the car and I'll catch you next time. Toodle pip.